right, welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker, round 21 preview, Jev, where we're going to go through all the games. We're going to go through the lines, so not just the head-to-head markets, the lines, see who's favourite, who's not. We're going to go through them. I'm going to give you each game. Jev will guess what he thinks the line is, and then we tease them down into a $1.30 leg, and then also we might have a hook for a game, so a leg that we really like. And then also a sinker, a leg to stay away from because we don't like it. We don't like how they're performing. Round 21, Jev, it's really shaping up. Last week absolutely cooked my ladder because of where they're at, because so many upsets, but it's really interesting. So hopefully that really comes into this week, and hopefully we can go a 9 from 9 on the line. Jev, how are you feeling?
Oh, I am great, Gus. What a week last week was. We had a shocker on the pod. I'm just looking at my results now. Collingwood wrong, Geelong wrong, Brisbane head-to-head wrong, Hawthorn plus 22.5 wrong, and then I got GWS, Swans, Crows, Melbourne, and West Coast. So, yeah, but it was a tough week. It was a tough week to tip. Our Drink Wine, Pick 9 new segment got off to a rough start. So, but it was a bloody good week of footy, and it's so good to watch, and it's so even, the comp right now.
It is, especially coming in the last few rounds with everyone needing to make finals. Yeah, Jev, I got 4 wrong on mine. I had Carlton against Collingwood plus 34.5. Geelong minus 23.5 had to be the side. It had to be the side to be on, but it wasn't. We had the Giants, had Brisbane minus 3.5. They went to soup. Had the Bombers, had Adelaide just head-to-head. Port Adelaide. Thought that they were going to win. Thought the Hawks were going to hold on there, Jev, but they got smoked in the last quarter. Then had Melbourne and North Melbourne plus 13.5.
So the only favourite that won by the points was St Kilda. Would have covered their line. The rest just have the points. Oh, and Melbourne, if you took them, I had Melbourne plus 6. They would have covered.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it was just take the points.
Collingwood
plus 1.5. Carlton with 30 points was the side to be on.
It's unbelievable, but Jev, I can't believe I went against it, and we just keep doing it. But Adelaide with points is the team all year.
I took it. I knew they're just as good as Port Adelaide. They're the best team I've ever seen that are going to make finals. They are so fucking good.
You know who are so bad? So it's either Port Adelaide are winning, Jev, or they're getting flogged.
Yeah.
All my numbers are saying they're either winning or they're getting absolutely pumped. So for anyone that doesn't know, before we get into the games quickly, I have my own ladder system. So wherever the team is at, say, I just use the first game, for example, say Carlton versus Richmond. Carlton were plus 17.5 points. Richmond were minus 17.5 because it was a draw. So technically on my ladder for that game, Carlton are plus 17.5 point better side than what the bookies are saying. Richmond are minus 17.5. So I do that over the whole year. So, Jev, who have been the top 3, let's say, of last round? Who were the most impressive wins?
Gold Coast would have covered probably plus 100 points nearly.
Gold Coast were impressive. Who's our man, Toby? You'd say GWS was a very impressive win.
Yeah.
They've been an impressive side. Carlton had an impressive win.
Yeah, beating Collingwood on the G is not fucking easy.
And Adelaide had an impressive win. Jev, all those teams are inside the top 5.
Oh, because they just went nuts sort of thing, yeah.
So Adelaide are on top, Jev, at 254.5 points. The next is Carlton, 171. Then GWS, 146. Collingwood, 112. Gold Coast, 52. And then Brisbane Bulldogs, Essendon.
So Carlton have come from the clouds because they were so low earlier, like before, weren't they?
We were bottom
50-point
bottom 5, but when you win 6 in a row, Jev,
you're just getting plus points.
So I'm really looking forward to this week's games and seeing what we can conjure up. So let's start off, Jev. Friday night footy, Bulldogs and Richmond. This is at Marvel. What do you think the line's at?
I'm going to go the Dogs are favourite. Geez, they're untrustworthy at the moment, Dog. I'm going to go Dogs favourite. I'm just going to say 10.5 points, a goal and a half, basically.
Yeah, it's 9.5, Jev.
Yeah. As you know, I do not trust Richmond from a bar of soap. I reckon they're got a flawed football team. But so do the Dogs, and the Dogs play the weirdest brand of footy. I don't know if you heard Kingy talk on the means test, but the way Bevo coaches, when it works, he gets praised. But when it fails, geez, it just looks wrong, doesn't it? Like he just gets it wrong during the week and then on coach's box game day. And you're like, how can you let Toby kick 5? In 4 1/4, after 2, lock on, but they've just got their system they stick with, and I don't know. This is a hard side to be on. What can I get for $1.30?
$1.30, Western Bulldogs plus 10.5, or Richmond plus 27.5.
Oh shit!
Oh, Tigers have been good as of late.
I feel like it's a must win for the Dogs. So my
100%.
heart sort of tells me like just get on the Dogs with the points. This feels like a game Bontempelli is just going to win off his own boot. But I'm sure, I don't know about your ladder, but I'm sure the Tigers plus 27 is probably the side to be on.
The Bulldogs.
No, the tie is. Does your point say the Bulldogs or the Tigers?
The Bulldogs.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so the Tigers are 15th at minus 74.5 points.
15.
And Bulldogs on my ladder are actually 7th, 16.5 points.
Oh, so we're both
So
going to take the Dogs plus points, are we?
I'll be taking the Dogs. Richmond Jev, the only games I ever remember them playing at Marvel is against the Saints, and they always get fucking walloped at
Yeah,
Marvel. They hate playing there. Dimmer cracks the shits every time they play there.
yeah,
And
he hates
going
going.
off that Toby Green stuff, I watched the game and I messaged you straight away last night, Jeff. I watched first crack, so I just try and get my head around as much footy stuff, same as you. The vision on Toby Green is the biggest coach killer of all time. It's coming down the field, and Duray would just, at the worst point, they're running back to goal with him, and then he'll just run off and just try and impact a contest that isn't even there, and then goes back, and Toby's 20 meters off him. It
Yeah.
happened 4 times,
Oh,
and the message has to be just lock onto those things. So I'm not sure what they're going to do because they were dominating that game. They were actually 36 points up at one stage in the start of the third quarter.
you see, Bont didn't even get a coach's vote. See, he was really good on the stats, but didn't even get a coach's vote. I reckon they're a bit tough. They're fucking
He
tough.
honestly, first quarter, 13 disposals and a direct goal assist, and then he didn't touch it after that.
Yeah,
So I'll be going the Bulldogs, and a little fun stat, Jeff, because we know we love them. Each of the last 15 matches at Marvel, the favourite has won.
there you go. So give it to the Dogs. Dogs plus 10, good start. I can feel a good start. I feel like they win head to head at $1.62. So I definitely think the Dogs are the side to be on. I think that Richmond 27 will probably cover as well. But I'm just going to take the Dogs plus 10 or win head to head.
This next one, Jeff, this is a bit of a toughie. Essendon and West Coast.
At Marvel or the G?
It is I believe it's at...
If it's at Marvel, Big Peter.
Yeah, it is at Marvel. Yeah, it is at Marvel.
Oh, this is going to get ugly. It's going to be 55.5 points at least.
It's only 50.5.
Nah. I watched, the Swans played fucking well last week, but Zach Merritt, Darcy Parish, Cole Langford, Big Peter Wright was starting to get his hands on balls. I can see him kicking 10 dust. I can see the 7-seater, 2-meter,
Ass
eater just getting his hands on a couple and kicking 10.
Yep.
He's a Hall of Famer under the lid.
He is. For anyone that doesn't know, I did this stats last year. Minimum of 50 games or whatever he'd played. He'd only played 50 at Marvel, but has the greatest stats of any player at Marvel as a goal kicker. Better than Coventry, better than Lloyd, better than the Duck, Wayne Carey. So under the lid, he's unbelievable, Jev. $1.30. Essendon minus 30.5 or West Coast plus 69.5. I saw West Coast come out here the other week, Jev, and I know what they served up. At home, they're a different team. They sleep with the family. It's nice and easy. Traveling down to Marvel, down to the warehouse, Jev. Another 6-hour flight. They hate it. 2-meter Peter. They are going to absolutely run a clinic, the Bombers. They play Marvel really well. It's a funny stadium. They play it well. It will be a loud crowd. Bombers for me, Jeff.
I reckon it's first leg of the 100K, but I reckon we're going to go hard in this game, Das. Come when we get to it together Thursday night, I reckon we're going to go hard at this game.
Yeah, the Bombers.
I could have Peter Wright 4, Langford 3, Merritt and Parish 30. They're going to torch them.
Yeah.
Remember I had Tip and Woody to kick a goal at Optus Stadium in this game last time? And he was running away from the fucking footy. I can see every Bombers player kicking a snag. 13 different goal kickers.
They actually, yeah, it definitely could seem like one. I think it will be a quick game. And another little fact, because obviously you'll take the Bombers, Jeff. Essendon have covered the line in each of its last 9 matches on a 7-day turnaround.
Yeah.
The line's at
I
50 and a
reckon-
half. They'll be disappointed in that loss,
I
Jeff. They'll
think
want to
50 is
come
not
back.
enough. West
No
Coast,
way.
they were in like 72 and a half region like 3 weeks ago. They
No,
beat North and all of a sudden they get 20 points. This is probably the bet of the weekend, minus 30 and a half for Essendon. They're
yeah,
going to pump them.
I don't think they're going to get anywhere close, Jeff. Next game. So we're both taking the Bulldogs and both taking Essendon. Next one for Adelaide and Gold Coast.
Oh, God. I have no idea. So Adelaide have to be favourite because it is at Adelaide Oval. They lost to Gold Coast early in the year. I'm going to say Adelaide by, same thing, goal and a half, 9.5 points.
18 and a half.
Oh, so 3 goals. Jeez. So this, I'm looking at it now. So Adelaide, $1.36 head to head. What can I get for $1.30?
Yeah, so half a point Adelaide plus half a point, or you can get Gold Coast plus 38 and a half.
The Crows just blow teams out on Adelaide Oval, don't they? I loved the way Gold Coast played. And you heard Kingy talk about Stephen King won that game in the coach's box against. Like they won that game during the week and in the coach's box against the Lions. It was such well coached because they tagged Toot Miller they tagged Harris Andrews. They just opened the lines up. So I can see him coming into Adelaide Oval and having a crack, but I got to take the Crows head to head, Das. I have to at Adelaide Oval. $1.36, I got to take it.
This is why I put all the work in these fucking numbers, Jeff. I gotta abide by them. I don't know why I even took fucking Port Adelaide last week. It's so stupid. Adelaide are on top of my ladder, Jeff. They're at home. Different story if they're away from home. They're gonna want this revenge game back.
Yeah.
Obviously, Took Miller. I don't think they get the doors blown off him here. Took Miller's too good. Like they looked just like a different team. It's like when you get your big brother back in a fight,
Yeah.
like the big fella was there, like no one was scared, and like who knows, King might go down and maybe not kick it. He might not even get a touch this week. So I'll be taking Adelaide head to head as well, Jeff. I just think that they get it done and try and do everything they can to make a bit of a push. Confidence is up.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh, I'd love to see them slip into the 8. They fucking deserve it. They've had the best season.
They have had an unbelievable season. They've just fucking lost some of these games,
So,
and they're so good to watch.
yeah, so good to watch.
All right, next game, Jeff.
What if Tuchel tag Jordan Dawson? No, he's untaggable because he'll just go behind the ball, or he'll go in front of the ball, or he'll just play it inside mid. He's not like I reckon he's untaggable. Unless he goes behind the ball, Took stand next to him and damages him on the other side. Maybe Took for an anytime snag could be a little hook for the week.
Yeah, that could be a little hook. I'm just trying to think who else he goes after.
I wonder if they'll put any work into Noah Anderson. He has been dominating.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Keys stands on him,
Yeah. If it's anyone, it's Ben Keys.
Yeah, for sure.
And Ben Keys will end up in the goal square. He always does.
Yeah, he always does.
He always does. All right, we'll be taking Adelaide, Jeff, next game. So we've got Hawthorn and Collingwood. It's Hawthorn's home game, but Jeff, at the MCG, it will be a massive home game for the Pies. They always show out. This is at 4:35 on a Saturday Arvo, if you don't mind. Where do you think the line sits at?
I've got no idea. It's going to be hard to bet on Collingwood for the rest of the year because they're basically clinched top. Like, I can't see them. I'm going to say the Lions 35 and a half. 6 goals.
34 and a half, Jeff. Pretty much bang on.
So between 5 and 6 goals. It just feels right. It feels like Collingwood just win by 5 goals and then, get their business done. What can I get for $1.30?
So you can get the Hawks plus 50 and a half or Collingwood minus 12 and a half. My initial thoughts on this is they probably don't beat them by 50, but I think Collingwood do want a convincing win.
Yeah.
They missed out on, they had a really tight one against Port Adelaide. Carlton have beaten them the week before. I just think they're going to want to get back to some sort of contested footy and just push the pace a little bit. Obviously, if anyone isn't really up to all the stats and stuff, Collingwood were the number 1 ball get side from rounds 1 to 7 in the competition. And since then, they are 17th. So they've gone away from that. They just thought maybe everyone else is going to get it for them and we can get the easy one on the outside. But look for Collingwood to try and put their head over the onion a little bit more in this game because they want to get that hard style back. They're going to be playing teams like Melbourne and Port Adelaide coming to finals. So I will be taking the Pies minus 12.5. I think they just get a professional win on this one, Jeff.
I think 12.5 is not enough at $1.30. I think that's the perfect line to be on. They've got Geelong, who are fighting for finals, and Brisbane, who will be fighting for top 2 spot. They just need this win in the bank. They will win. They'll win. They'll win by. I reckon they'll cover that 34.5 line. I reckon they'll win by about 38 points.
The Hawks have shown they can push sides for the first 3 quarters as well. They'll have a dip.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll have a dip. So don't be too concerned if the Hawks are thereabouts. I look for the Pies to try and kick away at the end. They need to solidify a couple of goal kicks. So my check maybe for a little bag. Yeah. Someone up for McStay to finally get a hold of a team.
Jamie Elliott has to kick one. And I wonder if McGuinness will go to Dacos Stars.
I think he will.
Puts the clamps. And the Hawks love playing on the G. They love playing on the G, and they're bloody good on the G.
That's actually what I was going to say to you last week. That's the perfect one. I reckon Sam Mitchell's just like, look, we're not doing anything else of the year. We're just trying stuff. Finn, make a name for yourself. Go clamp him. Go clamp him.
If he holds him to 6 touches like he did Josh Kelly, I'll be shocked. I'll get a McGuinness jersey. We'll do on the pod right now. If Dacos has under 10 touches because of McGuinness, we'll both get a Finn McGuinness.
No, let's just back Dacos is under $1.90.
Yeah, we can. But I just want him under 10 to get a McGuinness jersey. Yeah. You be keen on McGuinness? You can get Seamus Mitchell.
Seamus Mitchell. I want to see if we can get. Sorry, everyone. I want to see if we can get Finn McGuinness if any of the lines are out, disposal line, because I'd love to know we can go Finn's over and Dacos is under.
Dacos hasn't had under 25 once this year. So his line's 25.5 before the game even starts. 27.5.
Surely
under 20 Finn. I'll be jacked under 20. Under 10, I'm buying a jersey.
Yes, I love that. So we're both taking the Collingwood minus 12.5. Yeah, seems to be the side to be on coming into finals, but you never know. All right, next game, Jev. Fuck, this is what you want to tune in for. I'm so interested to see how this game pans out. Geelong and Port Adelaide. It seems like Lockie Jones and Alir have to sit out with concussion protocols, like delayed. I think that's onset by the AFL. Geelong seem to be missing Tom Hawkins this week. And that doesn't mean it was that.
And Mark Blitzarves.
But that's all right because we've seen when one forward goes out, I think Jeremy Cameron might go nuts. They don't have too good of a backline, old Port Adelaide. So where do you see this line is sitting at?
Geelong, it's at GMHBA Stadium. They have to be. You cannot give Geelong points at GMHBA. They have to be favourites. 2.5 points.
10.5.
Wow. No Alir, no Lockie Jones, no Hawkins, no Blitzarves. I don't rate Port Adelaide's defense as it is, but Rosie, do you remember the Thursday night game at Adelaide Oval? They got a hold of Geelong a bit, Port Adelaide.
Since in the last 7 weeks, they've been one of the worst contested efficient balls out of stoppage and then been trying to move it from one side of the field to the other, from defense to offense. They've been in the bottom 5 in 3 of those categories. They can't use it efficiently. They just haven't. But saying that, Geelong haven't been able to get going. But at home after a loss, Geelong don't lose 2 back-to-back at GMHBA, do they? But Port don't lose 4 in a row, do they? No, I think Port do maybe lose.
Oh, that is hard. What can I get for $1.30? I can already see I'm going to get Geelong points. How many points can I get?
So you can get Geelong plus 8.5 or Port Adelaide plus 29.5.
Geez, that. I usually give Geelong points at GMHBA any day of the week, but that 28.5 is probably the side to be on, isn't it? 29.5 for $1.29. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, with my ladder, so Port Adelaide are 14th at minus 40.5 points. Geelong are 12th at minus 37.5. So only 3 points between them. So usually, and then I add the points on. So if I get Geelong, if I take 10 points off that 37.5, that becomes minus 48.5. And then I get to add 10 points to Port. So that puts Port above. So that means I would take them. Plus, we get the plus 29.5. So I think Port Adelaide with the 30 point. If you said that 2 weeks ago, you would have said absolutely. Absolutely, you're going to take Port Adelaide with plus 30. So I'll be taking the Power plus 30. I think Geelong win, but I can't see the Power getting shut out.
Oh, if they get blown out.
I think 30 is too much for a team that's sitting in the premiership window.
Yeah, right.
You've come off.
I'm getting on Port Adelaide. I'll give you a hook for this game. So I'm looking at Jeremy Cameron's last 3 weeks. 1 goal, 5. 3 goals, 1 against the Lions, but he had 2 kicked directly to him from the Lions, and 1 goal, 3. He's due to kick 4 goals straight. Like, just go back and kick 4 snags at GMH. I reckon he's kicking 3, 4, maybe 5.
What's he paying at the moment for that?
Yeah, whatever he's for. I reckon that has to be in the 100K this week.
Let's sprinkle. We haven't had a sprinkle on goal scorers at the moment. We've got a bit of money in the 100K account.
Three, get $1.85. Oh, that's basically his line. I like it though. I reckon he kicks 3.
$1.85, $3.25, $6.25 for 5, or 13 for 6.
I'll tell you another leg I like in this game. Dangerfield to kick 1 at $1.83. Remember he was playing unreal against Port, and then he got that knee in his kidney, and he got a punctured lung, had to drive home, and he was sore as buggery.
We should have another look at your man Jeff Brad Close for 2 goals is $3.15.
Jesus.
For 3 goals it's $8.50. For 4 goals it's $26, which is great. And for 5 goals, you can't even get him for 5. So 4's $26. His last 5, he's had 1, 0, 2, 3, 0. He pops up though.
Yeah, I agree. So 2 against Essendon at GMHBA, 3 kicked 1 against Freo. Like, he can easily kick 2. That's not a bad bet, Das. Is that a sneaky 100K leg, or is it Saturday? We don't want to lose by then.
Check the weather. It's good weather. Check the weather. Good on. So we're both taking Port Adelaide at this one. Also, if you like them head to head, it's $2.40. Not that I do, but
it's a hard game head to head.
Now, Jeff, the other Saturday night game. This is the game that I'll have a bit more of a closer eye on. I'm sure you will as well. The Giants and the Swans.
I can't wait for this game. I cannot wait because I'm just so happy for the Giants. They're playing the best, like the most watchable footy. And I love watching the Swans. Swans versus Giants is always a good game. We actually put respect on Toby Green's name. We will tag the man. Like, we will not let him lose.
Who goes on it?
Nobody Franklin Hurts. The go retired. I can't talk about it now. I might talk about it in the pod on Thursday. I was tearing up yesterday. I was bloody emotional. I'm going to say, is it the Swans home game or Giants home game?
Giants home game.
Giants home. I'm going to say Giants are favourite by about a goal. 5.5, 6.5 points.
3.5 points, Jev. They respect the Swans. It's GWS are favourite by 3.5 points.
Yeah, we always match up well against them. Like, we just match up well against each other. We always play well. I have the biggest hook in history for you, Das.
Here we go.
I can't remember the exact number, but before the last one, Luke Parker had won 4 out of the last 5 best on grounds in GWS Swans. And they lost in the last 30 seconds to Toby Green. Luke Parker had 30-3, I'm pretty sure. And he was about to win his 5th in 6 games. He was about to win his 5th medal in 6 showdowns or whatever we fucking call it, Battle of the Bridges.
It's the Brett Kirk medal.
That's right.
The Kirky.
Then the Giants pinched the game and whoever won the medal, I'm going to go look at the exact game now. I bet he had 33 and a goal, and he was best on ground by an absolute mile.
Yeah, he was. I remember watching it.
And then they lost the game, so he didn't win it. So whatever I can get Luke Parker for, he's going in the 100K for sure for 25. He dominates the Giants. What can I get for $1.30?
$1.30 GWS plus 14.5 or the Swans plus 21.5.
Like, I'm a Swan supporter, but that Giants line is the side to be on. They don't get blown out. They do not lose by over 14 points.
And you're hot or you do, Jev?
Yeah.
They're hot.
They're hot.
They're hot. If the hot hand's there, we're going to play it. We're going to play it. That's how these things work. And as soon as they go cold, which we've seen this year, like St Kilda were hot. They were the hot hand. And then they were the cold hand. Jump off it. If it's hot, Jev, stay on because the heat's on in the kitchen. I'll also be riding you. We're picking the same legs. I like this. This must mean that we're on this week. But Giants plus 14.5.
The Swans pumped Essendon, and we only beat them by 2 points. Like, I don't think we handle when teams come hard against us. Sometimes we hold on and get lucky. Sometimes teams get over the top. No Dane Rampy, no Buddy Franklin. Yeah, the Giants plus, I got 15.5 for $1.29. That's the side to be on, I think.
Yep, I agree. I'm with you on that one, and I can't wait. That's the game I'll definitely be tuning into
100%.
on Saturday night. Toby's, that's who you tune in.
Saturday night, Toby Green on Harry Cunningham.
If you're tuning in to watch a game, it's Toby.
It's toast. Now that Buddy's retired, is he the most watchable player in the league? If he played, probably Nick Dacos, but if he played for Collingwood, he would be like, do not miss this man play. Like Charlie Curnow right now, like, don't miss this man play.
I just think it's so... Yeah, can you imagine? Because his highlights don't look as good because it's like... Well, they do. I didn't mean that. I mean, just because he's always playing at these small grounds. Can you imagine if he was kicking goals and every time there's like 80,000 going up behind every goal? You'd be losing your fucking mind.
Oh, it'd be nuts.
I'd actually love to know in an alternate universe what the story would be of Toby Green if he had this career in a Melbourne team.
Yeah, for the Tigers or for the Bombers. If he was playing at the Bombers and he was their best player in the last 20 years, oh God, he'd be big and must watch. So
all right, next
the Giants. Can't believe
next game, Jev. This team is ass crack. They got absolutely walloped last time they played. North Melbourne versus Melbourne, Jev.
This was ugly, wasn't it? This is when Kane Corn said they were non-competitive. It was 11 goals to none in the first 10 minutes, wasn't it?
It's in Hobart.
What are Melbourne doing down in Hobart? They're better than this.
Is that why Petrarca? Is that why Oliver's not coming back this week?
Yeah, I know. It'd be too cold for his hammy down there. Because there was a little rumour saying he's basically ready to go, but they're just not going to ship him to Hobart.
Yeah, they'll play him against the Blues.
I will say the line is 40.5 points, Melbourne.
42.5.
7 goals. North are pretty good. North aren't bad. Well, they're not good anywhere. North aren't bad down in Tassie. It's usually cold and windy, and it's actually hard to score at one end, so it's usually a close-ish game. What can I get for $1.30?
So $1.30, Jev, you can either take North Melbourne plus 61.5 or Melbourne minus 23.5.
Oh, you can't trust North at all. Like, those 60 points do not appeal to me at all. It'd have to be 100 for me to take North right now. It'll probably cover, but I'm taking the Melbourne side.
I'm just checking the weather now because...
Are you thinking taking the North points?
No, I'm definitely taking Melbourne. North are like second bottom of my ladder. No, I'm just saying, no, it's meant to be not raining. But the bigger line, Jev, so 42.5, which is the actual line. Little stat I got here. North Melbourne had failed to cover the line in each of its last 6 matches at Bloodstone Arena. North Melbourne, it's one of their home grounds, Jev, and they can't cover. Their last 6, and they always get pumped. The line is 46.5, Jev. So 42.5. We'll be taking that Melbourne line.
They've lost 17 in a row, North. They're ass crack. And then they got to fly home from WA, back home, back to Tassie. Nah, there's no chance.
And I'm really interested to see where do you go Petty just up forward again and just play around with him? Tried a few more things. Is Petrarca kicking a bag?
Nah, I don't reckon he is. I reckon he's saving his bag for Carlton next week, does.
No, but is he just going to sit forward?
Yeah, he might. They might run like James Jordan and Cozzy Pickett and run a few through the mid. Yeah, fucking oath. So
just sit the bull one out.
It would be good to watch. Max Gawn's form. Who's North Ruckman? Is Todd Goldstein getting a game?
No, it's Cherry.
Yeah. Max Gawn is going to have another 30. He'll have 30, Gawn.
No, surely Gawn doesn't play. I thought the exact same thing. This is the game you got to bring Grundy in. At least like he's the sub, surely. Like at least a half. Like just let Gawn run around for a little bit and just
Sub him off and give it to Grundy.
What Melbourne are going to win? Like, why would you play him the whole game? He's their MVP. Can you imagine he did his ankle or did a knee at fucking Hobart? You'd
How
be kicking
far away
yourself.
is Fritch? Do you know how far away Fritch is?
1 week, maybe 2 weeks.
So
I'm
he's
pretty sure
come back into Carlton as well. Him,
Uh,
Clary, who else? Who else come back into Blue? Oh, it's good. Yeah,
oh,
Melbourne's a side to be on. North are hopeless. I
yeah,
will not trust them for a long time. LDU's
yeah.
playing good footy though.
He's very good. All right, next game, Jev. This scares me. Still contemplating whether I'm going or not. But St Kilda and Carlton,
Oh God, under the lid. Oh, Carlton have to be favourites, but it's not going to be much. It's going to be about 8.5 points.
15.5.
Oh, that's a lot of points.
No Mackay, no Silvani,
No Walsh,
no Chera.
no Chera,
No worries.
no worries.
Put that on a
Playing
t-shirt.
so much better footy. See, yeah. What can I get for $1.30, Das?
St Kilda plus 33.5 or Carlton plus 3.5.
Oh God. Uh, I suppose I like Carlton to win, but the history just says
St
the
Kilda
Saints,
wins.
doesn't it? Every year you go to this game to see the Blues win, and every year they let you down, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I hate being on the Saints, though. I hate the Saints.
Don't do it.
But 33.5 under the lid at their home ground, I think is the side to be on. I'm going to take the Saints plus 33.5. I can't believe it as well. I can see him beating the Blues by like 4 points and the Blues not covering. Like, I can see it being like that. I don't know if I can see the Blues winning by over 33.5 points. I definitely can, but I'm going to take the Saints. I like those points.
I'll see us
Home
winning
game
head
for
to
the Saints.
see us winning head to head, Jev. And I see us as the hot hand. If you're not hot, you do, Jev. We're both. We're hot and we're due.
Yeah, I promised I would stop judging the old Carlton team. I can't believe I'm taking the Saints points, but I like those 33 points for a home side. 33 at home is a lot of points, so I'm going to take the Saints. Carlton will win head-to-head, though.
I've been bang on the last couple of weeks here, Jev. I said Charlie would kick 10. I said last week he'd probably kick 5.
He did
And
say
then I said he'd kick 5 on the accountant this week. So
5 on Wilk.
he will. Still athletic.
Imagine they
Remember last time he was panicking?
they sent Jimmy Webster to Charlie. That could be 12. Luke Bruce licked his lips against Jimmy Webster. So, no, I like Curnow to kick 4. I like Carlton to win, but I'm going to take the 33.5 points. And if
This
the
second
Saints
last
if the Saints let me down, they're going to cop an absolute roasting on the Sunday roast. I've been waiting to go after them, but they keep winning games.
Carlton second last game of the round. So we could have a bit of fun with this one. With a bit of Kerno action. We could put him in for a few goals at the back end of the multi.
Oh yeah, you could. You could go nuts.
This could be good. All right, so you'll be taking the Saints. It's the only different leg. I'll be taking the Blues, Jev. Last game, Fremantle and Brisbane.
At Optus. God, this is hard. Freo have not been that good at Optus this year. Oh, they've been better there. They go to GMHBA and win. Brisbane come off a bad loss. So I can already tell Brisbane are going to be favourites by about 12.5 points. 2 goals.
16.5.
Yeah. I like those points to Freo, but then and Brisbane are such cowards away from the Gabba.
Mm.
What is your ladder telling you? Take the Lions, isn't it? Because Freo are shit house.
Yeah. At the start of the year, Jev, Brisbane absolutely smoked them at home, 115 to 67.
That's
Will
right. Remember,
kick goal of the year.
that's right.
And they just pieced them up.
Remember, everyone was like, that game, though, like, you could finally see Freo tried to change their game plan. They just got touched up at the Gabba.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, what can you get for $1.30?
They're another team that got beaten up last week that have to bounce back if they're playing finals. So either Fremantle plus 33.5, Fremantle plus 35.5, or Brisbane plus half a point.
Yeah. Basically, Brisbane head-to-head or Freo plus 35. Oh, God. What side are you on? You're on the lines, aren't you?
Yep.
The last time I took Freo with points at home was against Carlton. They lost by 50 and didn't cover those points. They can't lose by 33.5. Oh, they can.
Can Brisbane lose back to back?
100% they can. They're so weak away from the Gabba. I can see Freo winning this game. Can you? They just beat Geelong at GMHBA.
Yeah, I know, but they're fucking cowards. We smashed them.
I know. But if they tag Lockie Neal and they tag Harris Andrews,
Who's going to tag him?
big Josh Corbett, the canteen man. He's the canteen lady's son. He's huge, big Josh. No, he wouldn't be smart enough football, would he? Nah, fuck it. I'm taking Freo on the points. I'm going to better against Brisbane. I'm taking Freo on the points.
That's a hell of a pick.
What are you You're taking Lions head to head.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions. So my multi-Jev, this gets me, it's pretty short actually. It's only $12. Usually they pay a little bit more than that. So $12. So that is the Dogs plus 10.5. Essendon minus 30.5 against West Coast under the lid. You think that's value pick of the week. Just Adelaide pretty much head to head at home. Collingwood minus 12.5 against the Hawks. Port Adelaide, plus 30 against the Cats. GWS plus 14.5. Melbourne minus 23.5 against North down in Tassie. The Blues plus 3.5 and Brisbane head to head pretty much against Freo. And that gets you $12.
I've got the same multi, all the same, but I'm taking St Kilda plus 33.5 over Carlton and Freo plus 35.5 over Brisbane. That gets me $12.24. And I am using the money we won from the Discord Punters Club on the weekend, Das. I have $64.19 in my account because of our Discord Punters Club, so I'm putting $14.19 on this multi.
Let's go. Now, I also wanted to do one because I don't know why. I probably just wasted $10 here. But every week I just put a genuine line one on, depending on the ladder. But the ladder for the first time is telling me just to take all the favourites, which will never win.
Really? All minus points?
All minus points.
Wow.
It will never... I'm actually probably just going to do one with all the plus points and just watch that come home. It's telling me to take Bulldogs minus 8.5, Essendon minus 50, Adelaide minus 18, Collingwood minus 31, Geelong minus 10, GWS minus 3, Melbourne minus 42, Carlton minus 14, Brisbane minus... That gets you back 3.8 thousand.
You might as well take it. It could be a favourites week. Last week was a roughies week. This could be a favourites week.
But that'll never you look at those. And,
no, there's no way because I reckon the book is always because people like favourites, so they always pump it up a couple of points.
100%. That's why I hate it. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, this is shit.
I used to have 5 on it this week.
No, I've already put 10 on it.
No, come on.
I had to.
Hey, good show. We've had a good show. We're speaking about some legs that are going in the 100K. And, we always go heavy the last game of the weekend, but we both reckon Essendon West Coast is going to be a bloodbath. Imagine we start with 5 green ticks to start the multi, and it gets thinner as the week goes on rather than it could be a go. I know we hate losing first game, but there is some value in that Bombers game.
We should almost do... We should do 2. We should do the 100K, but then we should have one in the Discord as well. How we go thick and we go thin.
Yeah, don't mind it.
It only goes in the Discord.
Usually we do the pyramid, but we'll go to the ice cream cone. We'll go that way.
Yes.
We'll start.
I like it.
Yeah, what's the second game? Hawthorn, Collingwood.
No. So we got Essendon, West Coast, Adelaide, Gold Coast.
Yeah, we'll go hard as those first 2 games. Tex for 3.
Touches. Dawson's getting another 25.
Dawson up to 30. Got to bump him up to 30 nearly.
True.
See if we can get 10 green ticks over the first and it just thins out. When we get to Freo, Brisbane, and all we need is Caleb Sarong and Andy Brayshaw for 25 each. Last
15.
For 15. Had $1 nothing. Come on.
All right, hell of a pod, Jev. That's bang on 40 minutes. Hook, line, and sinker. Those are the best markets. That's where we're sitting. Let's go 9 from 9 this week, Jev. Let's both get a win.
Let's go.